it's time to stop with these young adult novels and adapting them. Let's talk about Mortal Engine. Directed by Christian Rivers and starring Hera Hillman, Hugo Weaving, Jehei, and Robert Sheehan, Mortal Engines is the story of a post-apocalyptic world where all the cities that survived, I should say, are now mobile. They're all on wheels, and the larger cities consume the smaller one for resources. And of course, there's a conspiracy at foot, and our heroes need to stop it. That's Mortal Engines. Now, this is a movie, when I saw the trailer, I honestly didn't expect anything grand from it. It looked really good, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll check it out if there's nothing else to watch. And that's exactly what happened. And pretty much what I thought I would get from this movie is what I got from this movie. Surprisingly, Peter Jackson is one of the people behind this movie, so you would think the story would have been much better. I've never read the book. I know it's supposed to be a bestseller, but I have no frame of reference other than the movie. That said, the only really good thing about this movie is the visuals. This movie, if you want to see this movie, I recommend checking this out on the largest screen you can find, because visually the movie looks really good. I believe this is a first-time director here, and he's only done things like storyboards and setting up action sequences and stuff like that, I guess, before this. But it shows. I think this is a movie that might have been too much for a first-time director who has really no experience directing. So the visuals are really good. The movie looks nice, but the editing is off. The action sequences are editing in a very frenetic, kind of crazy way. The fight sequences are done in that close-up style where you really can't see what's going on, which is a shame, because the actor Jehei, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, she has some really cool looking action sequences, a lot of nice fight scenes, but like I said, there's so much going on that you miss a lot of stuff. The only other thing about this movie that I liked was Strike, the character of Strike. Strike is a CG character. So what does that say about the rest of this movie? Well, we'll get into that. But Strike is voiced by Stephen Lang, and his voice work is phenomenal. He brings life, he brings emotional depth to this character. This was the only character who seemed to have any real development and a very compelling story that I honestly wish I knew more about this character. I wish the movie was about him as the hero, that this was his journey. Because he's honestly, when he's introduced, he is the best thing about this movie. And his story is very sad and very, should I say, dramatic. And it hits all the right notes. His moments with the star is, the lead. Those are the strongest emotional moments in this movie. Other than that, the rest of the characters are exactly what you expect from these type of young adult movies. First of all, there are too many of them. So there are a bunch of forgettable characters, names you wouldn't even remember after you leave the cinema, far less for faces. Then we have our heroine, and I don't blame the actress. I honestly think she's really doing her best. I just don't think there's much there. We have our love interest, of course, which is totally unnecessary. Again, he's just this pretty guy. The actor is fine. I think, again, he's doing the best with what he has, but this screenplay, this story is so thin in terms of character development. These two people meet, and the love story between them feels so forced. There's zero chemistry between these two people. Why couldn't they just be friends? I don't understand why they figure every single one of these stories have to have a love interest. They could have just been friends and it would have worked. Even if they develop into best friends, that could work. And Hugo Weaving here, I have to say, was a disappointment. And I adore this man, like I'm sure everybody else does. He's fantastic as a villain. He's fantastic as an actor. But here, he has nothing to work with. This is just a guy who is evil for evil's sake. Listen, we've outgrown these types of villains. Marvel gets it. So why isn't everybody else picking up on this? Everybody wants a villain that you can relate to. You might not agree with their insanity or the way they go about doing what they do, but this paper thin crap with all it is about is you want more power, that you're ambitious, that is not good enough. And Hugo, he seems so bored, honestly, in all of his scenes. There's no energy to him. So, guys, I would have to give this movie a 4.5 out of 10. Visually, it's a fantastic looking movie. Strike is an awesome character, but other than that, this movie is just another dead on arrival young adult film. I really don't see this movie going any further than this. I don't know if there are more books. I don't know if this is the entire story. And they had some good stuff in there in terms of, like I said, the backstories that they give you, which of course is all exposition, seem interesting, but this is just a mess of a movie. And how this thing, I really would be surprised if this movie makes back its budget, because you can tell a lot went into making it in terms of sets and CG and that sort of thing. But if I really doubt anybody's going to be remembering this movie by 2019. So Mortal Engines gets a 4.5 out of 10. And that's it, guys. So this week we have Into the Spider-Verse, something that actually looks really good. So I'm definitely going to be checking that one out and getting back to you guys soon. Aquaman is not opening till Boxing Day in my country. Ugh. So I have to wait all that time before I can see it. But that's it too that I'm really looking forward to before the end of the year. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that like button. It's very much appreciated. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face over there. And if these reviews are too long for you, I'm also over on that awesome app called Stardust. I do 30-second reviews there. If you love reviewing movies, you love talking about movies, I highly recommend downloading that app. It's a lot of fun. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. And that's about it, guys. So until next time, bye-bye.